Government has assured applicants who solve for land title documents under the Home Owners Charter Scheme of the continuity of the program, as more applications are currently being considered under the recently launched Land Administration and Revenue Management System, OLAMS. The Special Advisor and Director General, Bureau of Lands and Survey in the state, Mr. Aino Salami, gave the assurance while defending the Bureau's budget estimate before members of the State House of Assembly at the Assembly Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Kolawole Osho's report is presented in this package.
The Special Advisor and Director General, Bureau of Lands and Survey in the state, Mr. Aino Salami, while defending 2022 budget of the Bureau, explained that OLAMS was a digital platform created by the present administration to ease the administrative bottlenecks being encountered by applicants in the process of registering property, obtaining government permits, as government had established a single registry for all land-related transactions. He promised that the OLAMS platform was designed with user interface to effectively restructure registration, inspection, payment of assessment fees, and seamless issuance of certificate of occupancy for all categories of structures.
The government being a continuum, and we always try to give some figures as to what we have done since 2019. It's on the record that we have completed over 3,000 homeowners certificates since that period I mentioned now. And we have texted those whose applications were completed. Some of them are collected, some of them are yet to collect. And some of the people that have challenges, of the ones we treated, of the over 2,000, we have also called them to come and rectify challenges.
Defending the Bureau's budget proposal for next year, Salami intimated the lawmakers that the Bureau proposed a total expenditure of 955.4 million naira, consisting of 425.8 million naira for capital projects, with the remaining 529.6 million naira for recurrent expenditure. Responding, the lawmakers in their remarks tasked the Bureau to ensure the immediate distribution of pending title documents under the Homeowner Charter to applicants within record time. In related development, the State Commissioner for Housing, Jagumolu Akonde Omoniyi, presented a total budget size of 3.288 billion naira for the development and actualization of housing need of the people in the state. Given a breakdown, the Commissioner disclosed that 88.2 million naira would cater for recurrent expenditure and 3.199 billion naira would go for the various capital projects, while 3 billion naira was expected as revenue for next fiscal year. The lawmakers also considered the budget proposals of the Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, and the State Housing Corporation, amongst others.
Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development has proposed a sum of 728 million naira as its expenditure meant to intensify investment in women, men, young and old in a gender-responsive manner through participatory approach for sustainable development of the state in the next fiscal year. Commissioner in charge of the ministry, Mrs. Fumilayo Fuakwe, stated this at a budget defense session conducted by the State House of Assembly Committee on Finance and Appropriation. Again, Kolawole Osho's report is presented in this package.
Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Fumi Fuakwe, explained that out of the total budget of 728 million naira proposed for next year, the sum of 520 million naira was being earmarked for recurrent, consisting of 240.7 million naira for personnel costs, while 279.4 million naira would go for overhead. She stated that a total amount of 40 million naira will be used to support activities of women institutions, as well as functional NGOs and women groups. In another development, the State Ministry of Youth and Sports says it is set to to change the mere social service status of sport to a viable socio-economic development contributor by raising development profile of sporting facilities and providing the right environment for local international competitions in the state. The State Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Dr. Oluwadari Kehinde, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Engineer Olaiwola Abiodun, stated this before members of the State House of Assembly Committee on Finance and Appropriation. During the ongoing budget defense, he noted that in the coming year, the ministry will develop initiatives for the revival of grassroots sports through setting up of fund mobilization machinery and creation of legacy projects for annual implementation, as well as seek private sector collaboration for commercially viable sports projects and events. Consequently, Uluwadari proposed budget estimate of 337.7 million naira as a total expenditure for next year, out of which personnel cost will take 124 million naira, with 75 million naira apportioned for overhead and 137.5 million naira to be expended on capital projects. Other agencies that defended their budget estimates before the lawmakers included the State Sports Council, Team Ogun, MKO Abiola Stadium, Gateway International Stadium, Shagamu, Otumba Dipo Dino International Stadium, and Gateway International Stadium, Ilaru.
The year 2022 will witness more developmental strides in security of lives and property, infrastructural development, employment generation, as well as wealth creation. Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Ogun State, Alhaji Abdulwahid Odushile, made the submission while featuring on Ogtv flagship program, New Dawn. Alhaji Odushile said the current administration has been methodical in its approach to woo investors and security into the state by improving on the infrastructure of the state.
It is a first choice for investors in Nigeria today. And it's no fluke, it's not an accident. It's based on what we are going to put on ground. First, I spoke about infrastructure. But then, the most important attraction to investors is security.
The commissioner said the state government is using the Ishaya mantra for progress and prosperity.
We have deployed resources, and I can say conveniently as of today, we have done, especially in the area of roads, we have done over 620 something kilometers of roads, both reconstructed, newly constructed, and rehabilitated, or in all the senatorial districts. This is no mean feat. It's especially in the face of dwindling resources, because the major challenge we have in 2021 has been adequate resources. There are so many things with government that the governor will have loved to do. And Prince Apostolic, the governor for MFR, the governor for Ogun State, is the desire to, in fact, it's so much in the haste to develop all parts of the state.
On the 40th anniversary of Ogtv, the commissioner extolled the virtues of the station of productivity with outstanding broadcasters over the years, assuring them of government continued support.
Actually, I've really been being the people's telly, and I can only wish you a happy birthday, and wish that yes, you do more. Of course, the government under the governor of Ogun State, Prince Abeokuta, is ever willing and ready to support Ogtv to take you to that greater height.
Meanwhile, one-time general manager of the station, Mr. Jare Dada, said, through thick and thin, Ogtv stood the test of time as arguably the best state-owned television station in the country. Members of staff of Ogun State Television, led by the acting general manager, Mr. Tunde Kazim, have visited Gideon Orphanage Home, Daniel Akintonde Model School, and Nigeria Correctional Service to distribute food items to them as part of activities marking the 40th anniversary of this station. Presenting the items, Mr. Tunde Kazim said the purpose of the visit was to extend the anniversary celebration to the children and also share in the joy of the period. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
This is how members of staff of Ogun State Television, led by the acting general manager, are saying thank you to God for the journey of 40 years. Ogun State Television is celebrating its 40 years of service to the people in providing authentic news, quality entertainment, and education. As the People's Tele, the day was set aside to extend love and share the joy of the celebration with the easily forgotten segments of the society. Amidst the display of love and affection for the children, the members of staff of Ogun State Television, led by the acting general manager, Mr. Tunde Kazim, were received by Gideon Orphanage and Home for the Aged in Asheru Estate. Mr. Oluwaseun Akpata received the entourage on behalf of the orphanage with a show of appreciation for remembering the children at this time.
Children, what do you have to say?
Even though the pupils have gone for their Christmas holidays, the teaching staff of Daniel Akitonde Model School for students with special needs, led by the head teacher, Mrs. Oluwaseun Idowu, received the station as she described Ogtv as a good and dependable partner.
Ogtv has been partner with this school since inception. You know how our own school too, every program they used to carry us along, and our children used to be happy with them.
The general manager said the idea was to extend the hand of fellowship to the pupils.
We are here as part of our corporate social responsibility to give to the needy.
Members of staff of Ogtv were also at the Nigerian Correctional Service, Ibara, where they were received by the welfare officer, Abdulhakim Awesu, on behalf of the Deputy Controller General. The acting general manager speaks on the visits.
The idea behind this all is to extend our love to these people. You know, they need our care, they need our love, and they need us to be around with them every time, so that we're able to know that they are also very important in the society.
The day kick-started with an anniversary walk by members of staff, also led by the acting general manager. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
Meanwhile, activities for the 40th anniversary of the station continues with candlelight procession on Wednesday 22nd at 7 in the evening. Anniversary lecture, award and dinner night at 4 in the evening on Thursday the 23rd, while there will be another Jumat prayer and a football match on Friday the 24th between 1:30 and 4:30 in the evening. The D-Day is Saturday 25th of December, when the anniversary cake will be cut by the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, before anniversary Thanksgiving at Victory Life Bible Church on Sunday 26th December at 10 in the morning. Coming up, INEC requires 305 billion naira to conduct 2023 elections. We will bring you the details after this timeout. Join us again. Many thanks for joining us again. The Ogun State government has constituted a joint task force with the responsibility of enforcing strict adherence to traffic rules and regulations of the state. According to a statement by the State Commissioner for Transportation, Engineer Gbenga Dairo, this is to reduce constant crashes and gridlocks caused by motorists, especially drivers of articulated vehicles, particularly on the corridors of Abeokuta, Shagamu and Ijebu-Ode Ekpe highways. The Joint Task Force, which consists of officers of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Motor Traffic Division, Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, TRACE, and Vehicle Inspection Service, VIS, is scheduled to begin operation on Wednesday, 22nd December 2021. Part of the mandate for the task force is to prosecute erring road users. Offences for which motorists may be booked include driving dangerously, overspeeding, wrongful overtaking, driving under the influence of alcohol, use of mobile phones while driving, lane indiscipline, among others. The general public is therefore enjoined to cooperate with members of the task force as they seek to ensure free flow of traffic, especially during the festive season. The ongoing transformation of the June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta, will attract more tourists and investors, which should in turn have positive effects on the social, cultural, and economic development of Ogun State. Assessing the ongoing transformation from the viewpoint of what the old edifice was speaks volume of state government's intention not only to transform the structure, but also to give the entrance and its environment a new ambience. Bumi Adigun, who visited the edifice, completes the story.
Watch an incredible performance at the renovated Ogun State Cultural Center, an architectural beauty to behold, and indeed home to many major state events. Named by the civilian administration of Aremo Olusegun Oshoba in 1993 in commemoration of the annulled June 12 elections, this rehabilitated cultural center now has convention center, an amusement park, and a cinema. Previously on a state of decline, the center was renovated in 2012 by the Ogun State government. Today, it is a beautiful and impressive hub that could be used for local cultural performances, shows, conferences, and events. Painted with the Ogun State colors, it blends with the rich culture and tradition that Ogun is known for, with modern technology and design. There is a large, magnificent hall, a must-see part of the center, where major state events are held. Taking a show or movie, have a swim, or simply tour this wondrous building. The Ogun State transformation at the June 12 Cultural Center in Kuto, Abeokuta, worth mentioning every day, as the site of the construction comes daily with new developments and in a new phase. The total renovation of both the interior and the exterior has placed it far from what it used to be. The new ambience that surrounds the center is also a sight to behold. The last time I visited this ongoing construction at the June 12 Cultural Center in Abeokuta, this place used to serve as a mini car park, mini garage for motorists and transporters. This is at the front of the June 12 Cultural Center, and this is the new look of this ongoing construction here, and this shows and tells us that it is still a work in progress, and this befits the structure that we have by the side of the hall, which is the June 12 Cultural Center. Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Ogun State, Dr. Toyin Taiwo, said the ongoing construction at the center is unsurpassed.
Somebody that is so passionate to turn virtually all the sectors around and leave it better than what we met on ground. And this is exactly this is exactly what is happening in the cultural center. You need to be there. It's a total rebuilding. Even the vendors around there, they are all happy that it's changing for the better. It has increased their sales. Has increased the sales of the vendor there because people that have this anticipation to want to come and see.
Ogun State Property Investment Corporation, OPIC, is in charge of this construction, and the organization says the mandate it has from the governor is to make the center a world class.
I think the next phase of work should be we've redesigned the entry points. The next phase of work will be to execute that redesign. We'll put in a nice garden there, and we're trying to incorporate that, with public use as well. So yes, we have a series of things lined up. This is just phase one we've completed.
What are the new things there?
So now, like I said, we're having a garden just right in front of the entire center, the cultural center. In the cultural center itself, we're also there's a landscape, there's a garden at the back as well. We're also going to touch that. So all of these are in phases. So the design as well has been done, the master plan, and it's just to implement stage by stage.
This center was temporarily used for the 2021 carol service of 9 lessons of the Ogun State government. And you could imagine what the place would look like after it has been completed. The center was initially built by the military administration of late Navy Commodore Mohammed Lawal. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
Away from culture and tourism matters, we now move to education. Individuals and organizations have been urged to complement efforts of the Ogun State government to improve the lives of the young people through quality education for more achievements in the sector. The chairman, Ogun State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Dr. Femi Majekodumi, made this call while receiving learning materials and geisha products from Kawasho Foods Corporation, donated to a number of public primary schools in Ogun State. Adebola Oshomuji reports.
In fulfilling its corporate social responsibility, a Japanese company, Kawasho Foods Corporation, has donated 450 sets of desks and chairs, 11,000 notebooks with 150 cartons of geisha mackerel to selected schools in Ogun State. Chief Femi Odufowokon, who received the materials on behalf of the chairman, SUBEB, Dr. Femi Majekodumi, thanked the company for the donation, stressing that it would make learning more convenient for the pupils and encourage them to improve on their academic performances.
And I urge you to continue with this laudable gesture. The present administration in the state believes that education for all
Kawasho Foods Corporation, it is the company's passion to fulfill its obligations by complementing the state government's effort in education sector.
Kawasho Food has a strong interest in education, as we believe it has a positive relationship with economic growth and development.
Beneficiaries who spoke with OGTV News on behalf of others promised to make good use of the donated items in their various schools.
We are to make good use of it for the learners in their learning academic and to boost their knowledge of learning in their classroom.
All this material being given to us will be useful for our learners.
Beneficiary schools were Obafemi Owote Local Government, African Church Primary School, Ifo, Yewa South Local Government Primary School, Ilaro, Baptist Day School 2, Imeko, St. James's Anglican School 1, Ijebu-Igbo. Other schools were Ogun Osun River Basin Development Authority Primary School, Odeda, St. James's United Primary School, Mobalufon, St. Peter's Anglican Primary School, Ishara Remo, Baptist Primary School 2, Ijebu-Ife, and St. Paul's African Church Primary School 1, Ajetoro. Adebola Oshomuji, OGTV News.
The second convocation ceremony and commissioning of landmark projects at the Ogun State College of Health Technology, Ilese-Ijebu, comes up on Wednesday, 22nd December 2021 at the college ceremonial ground. The event will feature the conferment of honorary awards, technician certificates, national diploma, and higher national diploma at 10 in the morning. The earlier scheduled visit of President MUHAMMADU BUHARI to Ogun State tomorrow, Tuesday, 21st of December 2021, has been postponed. The visit was meant for President Buhari to commission some of the legacy projects of the current administration in the state. A statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tokumbo Talabi, regrets any inconvenience the postponement has caused invited guests. A new date for the visit will be announced in due course, the statement adds. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, says the commission will require 305 billion naira to conduct the 2023 general elections. He disclosed this during a meeting with the Senate Committee on Appropriation at the National Assembly, Abuja. The INEC boss also noted that the amount will enable the commission to prepare for the election and purchase all the election materials needed and also cover several by-elections across the country. He, however, stated that the commission has already received 100 billion naira out of the required amount for the elections. The Enugu State government on Monday banned unauthorized use of public educational institutions for social and sporting activities. The ban is contained in a public service announcement issued by the State Commissioner for Education, Professor Uche Eze. He said the ban was sequel to an attempt by some unpatriotic and callous individuals to vandalize and steal facilities government put in place in academic institutions at the basic, secondary and tertiary levels for the advancement of education in the state. Consequently, government has directed that no social or sporting activities organized by any person or group of persons shall take place henceforth in any of the state's public educational institutions without the written approval of the Commissioner for Education upon a request through the appropriate board or parastatals. The Apostolic Faith Church Ogun region has joined the rest of the world in the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ with a carol service. The carol, anchored by the church choir and orchestra at the church premises, came with a charge on Nigerians to have the heart of giving as God gave his only begotten Son to the world, leading to the emergence of Christmas. Margaret Okunlola was there for Ogtv News. Her report.
It was Joy Unlimited at the 2021 Christmas Carol of the Apostolic Faith, Ogun region, with the theme, The King Shall Rejoice. The Assistant Region Overseer, the Apostolic Faith, Ogun region, Reverend Bamidele Adeniyi, noted that Christmas is a season of love, therefore they should imbibe the spirit of love in all their dealings.
Christ has come to bring joy and love, and that love will take us to himself eternally. He has gone before us, he has gone to heaven before us, and is standing at the right-hand side of God, waiting for us so that we'll be heirs and co-heirs with him by the grace of God.
Members of the church, royal fathers and dignitaries from all walks of life worshipped God in an atmosphere enveloped by various musical instruments by the church choir and orchestra.
It's always a soul-lifting experience, a fulfilled experience, an experience that gives a hope about the new year.
It's good to move closer to God. And even in songs and in orchestrations like we had it today, it makes one happy. So Christians should be singing and be praising God.
The Christmas Carol also had testimony session where Christian faithfuls expressed gratitude to God for his mercies in the year 2021. The carol was wrapped up with a rendition of the popular Hallelujah chorus. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
Christian faithful have been charged to continually reflect on and draw lessons from the wonderful birth of Jesus Christ, centered on humility, unconditional love, sacrifice, leadership, among others. The lead pastor of Victory Life Bible Church, Apostle Lawrence Achudume, gave this charge at the church Christmas Carol at the Victory Plaza, Abiola Way, Abeokuta. Moses Ojewumi was there.
It's that time of the year when the reason for the season is simply the birth of Jesus Christ. Victory Life Bible Church Villa Basic Christmas Carol with the theme Wonderful is a reminder for all believers to not only celebrate but also reflect on the wonderful birth and lessons therein. Different significant Bible verses in consonance with the season were read by the General Manager of Ogun State Broadcasting Corporation, Mrs. Toyin, Acting General Manager, Ogun State Television, Mr. Tunde Kazim, Ogun State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Alhaji Wahid Odushile, represented by Mr. Lanre Oguyinka, and Architect Fela Shogbeson.
The angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around about them, and they were so sore afraid.
Songs after songs, the children were not left out. From the pulpits, Apostle Lawrence Achudume urged Christians not to allow the lessons from Christmas to be lost on them.
Jesus, the greatest leader, the greatest teacher ever to live on this earth, gave us a reason why he came to teach us thorough leadership. First, the leadership of service is to God and humanity. Nigeria will be great.
Prayers were offered for faithful to end the year well and have a prosperous 2022, as well as for a peaceful Nigeria. Moses Ojewumi, Ogtv News.
For support and collaborative efforts of family sustainability, the Police Officers' Wife Association, POA, Ogun State Command, Nigeria, has launched her cooperative multipurpose society in the state. Hajia Mudupeola Omonike Bankole made the official launch at the 2021 end-of-the-year Children's Christmas Party held at the Officers' Mess, Ibara Housing Estate, Abeokuta.
It was funfair galore for children as they celebrate the season with members of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, Ogun State Chapter, along with Sisters Association in the state. The event was spiced up with various competitions, games by children, the State Police Wives Association, and guests in attendance. The chairperson, POA, Ogun State Chapter, Hajia Mudupeola Bankole, said the reason for this gathering is to unwind among themselves with children after the year's activity and foster good relationships among sister organizations.
As a mother, as an officer's wife, to always pray for our children, pray for our husbands, because when the home is at peace, we have peaceful children and we have a better nation.
She however implored all women present to give their word good moral training, as it is with this that peaceful society can be achieved.
Notable security experts have paid glowing tributes to Mr. Mayowa Onofowokon, the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of AV Securitas Limited, at a 2-in-1 celebration organized to celebrate his 61st birthday and 15 years anniversary of his security outfit. The event was held at the company's premises, where the guest described him as a man of honor and integrity. Margaret Okunlola reports.
AV Securitas Limited is a security company with the mission of providing professional security services, which are efficient and designed to conquer today's security challenges. After 15 years of operations, the company organized a 2-in-1 event to celebrate its 15 years anniversary and the 61st birthday of the chairman of the security outlet. Lectures were delivered by security experts at the occasion.
They are very spectacular security organization that is in line with what is going on, especially with Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps.
One of the grassroots security that is collaborating and synergizing with the professional and conventional security to secure infrastructures.
Apart from the fact that they are well kitted, well behaved, professional, integrity is also one of the things that I think you will see when it comes to AV Securitas.
Being a two-in-one celebration, the chairman and chief executive officer of the security outfit was described as a hardworking and a security-conscious man.
He's focused, very dedicated, so the people around him, if you want to stay around him, you must be like that.
The chairman and chief executive officer, AV Securitas Limited, Mayowa Onofowokon, appreciated God for the journey so far and assured clients of excellence in security delivery.
We want to assure them that we're going to introduce the modern technology in security, which we are on it anyway. So they should be rest assured that their premises, their compound, their paraceta is secured under AV Securitas.
The event also had presentation of awards to professional security experts. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
Christians have again been reminded of the need to always offer sacrifice of gift to the Lord by committing themselves and their property to further spread the gospel of Christ. Right Reverend Emmanuel Adekunle, Bishop of Egba Diocese Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, gave the reminder during the dedication of a new auditorium of Obasheson Adekunle Memorial Anglican Church off Lanturu Road, Isaliabetu, Abeokuta. Bengade Koya's report is presented in this package.
The declaration of the preacher in the book of Ecclesiastes 7-8, that better is the end of a thing than its beginning, rightly paints the experience of worshippers of Obasheson Adekunle Memorial Anglican Church, who have the modern church building dedicated on December 19, 2021. The journey of building a befitting place of worship kicked off over 7 years ago, when the foundation stone of the church edifice was laid in November 2014 by Venerable Samson Adedokun, the then vicar of Christ Anglican Church, Iporake. Obviously, the sound of the church ultimate victory was heard in both far and distant lands, hence the church dedication attracted family, friends, and well-wishers. In his sermon, Right Reverend Emmanuel Adekunle, Bishop Egba Diocese Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, who is also one of the children of Obasheson Adekunle, whom the church was named after, enjoined the congregation to always give to the Lord.
In offering God sacrifices, there are the reasons. There are some people in the Bible that offer God free will offering. Even to them, it may not be enough, but the fact that they just have to do it.
The love, unity, and brotherliness members shared soon became a major attraction to visitors and even people around enjoying the church.
It is God who built this church for us. It has not been so easy, but God has been making way for us where it seems to be no way, and we give glory to Him. Dream it. Hold on to your dream. Work towards your dream. Ask God to support you, and you will get it.
A special thanks given by the Adekunle family and the church members wrapped up the dedication service.
Adebola Oshomuji is standing by to bring you the business news.
Welcome to the business segment of the news. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts has criticized the Nigerian Immigration Service for engaging consultants to manage visa and passport-related matters at Nigerian missions across the world. Consequently, the committee summoned the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Shaibu Belgo, and the Acting Comptroller General of the NIS, Idris Jerry, to appear before it on Wednesday to address the issue. The committee issued the summons when an Assistant Comptroller General in charge of budget, Olubusola Fashakin, appeared before the committee to represent Jerry over a query issued by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation against the NIS. The chairman of the committee, Oluwole Oke, said the arrangement was costing Nigeria a lot of money and should be stopped immediately, since the country has personnel who have been adequately trained to carry out the same functions. NGX Regulation, NGX RECO Limited, the self-regulatory organization's SRO regulating the Nigerian exchange, NGX, has reassured quoted companies and the general investing public of its continual commitment to promoting a fair, transparent, and orderly Nigerian capital market. Speaking at the 2021 Issuers Engagement Forum with the theme Corporate Disclosures Beyond Numbers, Chief Executive Officer NGX Regulation NGX RECO Limited, Ms. Tinuade Awe, said that with the increasing levels of shareholders' activism and greater levels of scrutiny on financial performance, the qualitative aspect of information, according to her, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic is still very much visible across the global economy, whilst many businesses are either closed or waiting for the economy to open up. Others have weathered through the storm created by the pandemic, leveraging on their continuity plans built on sustainable business models. Nigeria cotton export has been on the decline since 2016. Cotton is a commercial crop growing mainly for its fiber or lint and is commonly used in the textile industry. The International Trade Center ICT's trade map revealed that Nigeria exported cotton valued $4,789,000 in 2016, $5,598,000 in 2017, $7,037,000 in 2018, $5,597,000 in 2020. Analysts attributed the industry decline to lack of supportive policy measures and critical infrastructure for the growth of the sector. Since 2016, Portugal has been the largest importer of cotton from Nigeria. It imported cotton valued $1,663,000 in 2016, $810,000 in 2017, $1,764,000 in 2018, $1,742,000 in 2019, and $505,000 in 2020. The Debt Management Office has said the federal government is implementing several reforms to attract more investment into the country. The Director General DMO, Ms. Patience Uniha, said this during the third edition of Coronation Merchant Bank's virtual interactive session series themed Nigeria Moving Beyond COVID-19 Opportunities for Investors. She said the Nigerian economy remained resilient despite economic and social headwinds elicited by the pandemic. According to her, the composition and diversification of the country's gross domestic product and revenue base make the more stable growth going forward. And that was business news. Back to Iyabo for the rest of our news.